Definitely. Now, how come it seems like you have so much beef on the West Coast, man?
I don't. That's the problem, because I love the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my West Coast, man.
Yep. In our last interview, you talked about your love for West Coast music, all your connections out there in the Bay, all your connections there in LA and Long Beach. So it's I guess you're not in that bad of a position because you actually got allies out that way, huh?
Bro, I come out there, the Bloods got me. You think all these Crips mad because 4 Extra, boy, I go out there with the Bloods. I'm cool, homie. You heard me? I got real Pyru love out there, you heard me? I don't gangbang, but the Pyrus love me out there. I ain't gonna say all of them, but certain sections, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, since we're talking about Pyrus and Bloods, let's talk about this, man. There's a situation that's going on social media right now that's kind of taking over. And it's changing a lot of things and have people on the streets acting wild out there in LA. So there's some bloggers who are blowing up from jail, from prison. Guy by the name of B Braze. I guess he's Baby B Braze. You know, he's named after the famous B Braze, you know, the rapper from Pyru Love and a lot of different songs out there, you know what I mean? Back in the early West Coast gangster rap days. But this is Baby B Braze, and he's locked up. And he's a Denver Lane blood. You know what I'm saying? He's from Denver Lanes. And he's been going viral for a lot of his things he's been talking about behind them bars. And it's got a lot of people in the streets reacting, I should say. First off, he talked about the fact that he put the pause, allegedly, on 4 Extra. Did you see that? What'd you think?
Man, I believe him, bro.
All right, Uncle Bang. So we left off and I was asking you about the situation with B Braze and another blogger that we'll get to in a second, blowing up behind their stories behind bars, man. Now, B Braze, he had a story where he said he put the pause on 4 Extra. What do you think about that story and how it's got the streets going nuts?
I believe him. Yeah, I believe him. And 4 Extra is just what his name say, extra.
Now, what do you think about the fact that some guys who are locked up, because there's another guy by the name of J Hood, he made some claims, but B Braze, he specifically said, you know, talked about 4 Extra, and that's what went viral. And it had everybody on social media and these YouTube streets talking, man. And it had actually people, you know, doing things in the street, man. You know, so what do you think about guys behind bars actually having that effect on guys in the streets?
So you saying the dudes from behind bars was doing shit to make dudes in the streets get active?
Yeah, in a roundabout way.
See, I ain't know that, but
well, in a roundabout way. So they're just telling their stories or whatever, and it's causing a lot of friction between people in the streets. So they said, so B Braze told this story about 4 Extra. So then 4 Extra and other people were beefing online. You know, they were talking mess, and then people were starting to, you know, talk things about 4 Extra. And now 4 Extra is in a situation where he's back locked up, and they had a lot of people pontificating on how this will affect him going back in. Because now everybody's going to be watching his each and every move. You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you like this. 4 Extra, them 20 fades you was running for breakfast, them 20 fades for dinner, you really got to run them now. All that talking, them dudes in the LA County jail, they really want to see that now. Because these dudes that you were talking about in the LA County jail, they really running them fades. Now you back there with them. You really got to run these fades now. I want to see some pictures of him right now, how his face look right now. 4 Extra, send some pictures on. Let me see that face.
Nah, that's a fair,
I know you've been running a lot of fades. I know you've been getting, I know you ain't been whooping everybody like you. Come on, man. I want to send a picture of your face on.
Now, do you think, like, you know, these guys like B Braze and J Hood, they're going viral for, you know, basically talking about guys who are heavy on social media, and they're getting paid off it. You know, it looks like their accounts are monetized and everything. What do you think about that?
Congratulations to them. I'm happy for them because they're incarcerated and still able to make money. Shout out to them.
Facts. Nah. And a lot of I've asked this question to a lot of people this week, and it seems like, man, everybody had that same reaction because most people have done time and they're like, man, I wish, you know, when I was doing time, I could have been making some money, you know, just telling my war stories.
Well, you probably talked to a bunch of gave you that same reaction I gave you, because any real nigga give that same reaction. Them dudes in jail, them dudes need income, them dudes might not be getting money orders. So shout out to, what's their name, J Hood and who? Be Brazen. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all keep getting y'all money, man. I hope the money orders keep coming through the social media and everything, and I hope y'all be released and free sometime soon.
Yeah, now B Braves is looking at a lot of time because according to a lot of the documentaries out there about him, and I went on a deep dive about him and the history of the Denver lanes and things like that, he's looking at a lot of time. I'm talking about like, I think it's 50 years, something like that. Like it's bad. It's all bad. I mean, and I
was looking at the death penalty. I came home. There's always hope, bro, as long as you believe in God.
Yeah, that's what they say. As long as you got a date, right? There's always some hope. Because 4Extra was looking at like a L or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, man, I just like to see people be creative and actually, you know, profit off of this social media space, especially if they got good content, because that's what it's all about, right?
That's right. I'm feeding my family off of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeding my family off of it. Like, I'm eating off it.
Exactly. I ain't mad at it.
And I'm still small, bro. Like, people think, like, even, like, I'm known. I can't go to the grocery store, get cigars, nothing, bro. Everybody want pick, but I'm just getting started, bro. 2 years from now, you know how big I'm gonna be. I just got a new movie role. I'm not gonna speak on that, but it's a big Hollywood. It's not no Netflix. I'm talking about a big Hollywood movie role where I play a gangster, you heard me? So this finna turn me all the way up. And all y'all podcasters that been trying to hit me with them low numbers, they wasn't rocking with me. You know, today's price ain't gonna be tomorrow's price. How Fat Joe don't be saying that? Yeah, I'ma bust y'all ass up. You know, if you wasn't Witty Apparatus, Real Life Street Stars, Bowling Lane too, all the people that was really rocking with me, you know what I'm saying, when I was blackballed, the price is going up on y'all ass. You know what I'm saying? My people that's rocking with me now, y'all, we still cool, you know what I'm saying? Y'all scared. Price is about to go up.
Now, have you ever got in contact with Max Minnelli and I know he does a lot of movies and things like that.
Well, Max Minnelli, he was in a group with my son's godfather, Jay Vaughn, and Jay Vaughn didn't really like him, so I never really messed with him.
Really?
And I didn't care to be on the documentary Diamonds and Dirt they just put out about Baton Rouge because you know what I'm saying, they love Benji and Gangsta out of there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't talk about me. You know what I'm saying? I know why they ain't talk about me, because the dude that made the actual film, his wife, so I'm sure you wouldn't put me on that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sexy Messy.
Whoa. So that's why you weren't in any of the Diamonds from the Dirt?
And Benji and Gangsta wasn't on there because a bitch boy, a firefighter, we'll call him the firefighter, you heard me? He hated on my people. I ain't get him on there, you heard me? And they legend of the city.
Who are you talking about? One of the guys from the South Coast Coalition?
I don't know. It could be.
I'm just wondering, because they were talked about, and I was surprised.
Yeah, how they was talked about, and Benji and Gangsta wasn't talked about. Them niggas, Benji and Gangsta was really in the streets thugging with me, and not just with me, just thugging. They was outside gangsters. Man, y'all what the South Side Coalition wasn't outside. Man, the firefighter, y'all wasn't outside. Boys, y'all wasn't thugging. We was in all the hood clubs getting shot up every night. Y'all was over there in Baker doing concerts. Boys, shut up. Y'all extra. You know that I know that you. Shout out to Benji. You know that I know that you know that I know you, boy. You heard me? Man.
That's a good question, though. South Coast Coalition, they were in there. Young Bleed was in there. I wonder why Max...
Man, Young Bleed look like a smoker, man. I'm like, checking Young Bleed, man. They always so bum.
Okay, so, well, that clears up the reason or my question about why you weren't in those movies, you know? Because I think they're on their third one this time, right?
I don't want to be on that shit. They got nothing but bitch on there anyway. I don't want to be affiliated with them. They got a few real Nussis CeeLo, you know, Young Reddick, you know what I'm saying? Rest of them niggas, shout out to Yella, Asian Yella, he was on there, you know, he a here on him.
That's wild, man. I wondered, and that was a question of mine, why you weren't in
Our wife, your wife would be doing this interview right now?
Nah.
Simple mathematics.
That'd be a little weird, you know what I'm saying? Had to joke. You had to get the
If he my wife, he wouldn't be on my documentary either. I respect it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
It's good though, so I'd rather been on that documentary. Good head, that girl head.
Come on, bro. Yeah, his dude's wife, man. That's crazy. Oh, man. This is crazy. It's wild, bro. All right, man. Respectfully, man. Respectfully. All right, man. So we'll move on from there, man. But you personally don't have no issue with Max Minnelli, right?
Nah, ain't no issue. Beef with ain't from the streets. That dude ain't from Baton Rouge. He been claiming Baton Rouge all his life. He's from Irwinville, Louisiana. You know?